Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today is March 25th, 2025, and I am feeling adventurous. Today I am going to take cuttings from one of my elderberry plants, and the reason why is multifaceted. One is a curiosity to know if you could take elderberry cuttings in the early spring after it's broken dormancy. Two, the aesthetic of the plant has one really long shoot that is kind of breaking up the flow of the plant, and it looks like an ideal one for cutting it into multiple sections for propagation. And three, I just want to do something fun today. Now, the reason I'm getting this idea from a timing standpoint, because it may seem odd to take cuttings in an actively growing period of time, but as I learned from Lazy Dog Farms, check out that channel, it's a really worthwhile one to watch. He takes his fig cuttings in the summertime, late summer, when things are still growing, and taking that advice last year, I think it was early September. Yeah, I think it was then. I took 32 fig cuttings from my Celeste and potted them up, left them inside the house because I didn't have anywhere to protect from the freeze outside because I don't have a greenhouse that's heated, and I got 28 of 32 without rooting hormone and in homemade compost actually leafed out. The root system on some are just starting up. I potted one up from a 2-inch square to a #1 nursery pot, but a bunch of these are sitting here in this shape right now. I'm kind of thrilled with that. That's a really good lesson to learn because everybody takes fig cuttings. I say everybody. The majority of the time you're going to see fig cuttings taken in the dormant stage, and I'm assuming elderberries are the same thing. But it left me thinking, is it even easier to propagate elderberries during the growth stage? So today I'm going to find out, and I'm going to take you with me. So this is my Bob Gordon elderberry, and as you can see in the middle of the screen, there's one stalk sticking up pretty aggressively tall, and I'm going to step away from the back of the camera. We're going to get in a frame, and I'm going to snip it right at the base of where he's coming out of the trunk. You're going to see it fall over, and that's the one we're going to break down into cuttings to stick in #1s. Now this branch is a little over 6 feet tall, and as we can see, as we go from where I cut up, we have very long internodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my loppers or my pruners, and we're going to snip here and here for 2 nodes. We're going to root from this direction, we're going to leaf from this direction, and we'll probably do something similar on the way up. As we get closer to the top, we're going to have multiple nodes at that point because I'm going to have cuttings that are probably about 8 to 10 inches long, give or take. Don't know how many I'm going to get out of this. I don't really have a strategy plan for that. It's really just get the best looking cuttings I can and pot them up. And we're going to use homemade compost sifted through a 1/2-inch hardware cloth sieve that I built. It's a combination of the compost that I have sitting over in the Bermuda grass ring that I built. So it's semi-decomposed, decomposed Bermuda grass, and this wood chip I dug out from the base, sifted that as well where it's closer to the native soil, so it's much more decomposed, but it should give me a nice loamy structure to work with without having to invest in a potting mix. And elderberries by reputation seem to be readily rootable, so it'll be interesting to see how it takes off. All just a fun experiment, not costing me any money, and hey, if I get 6-7 plants, maybe I can make some money out of it. So we've broken it down and we got 8 cuttings, some closer to 5 inches. I'm going to remove lower leaves, and we're going to stick him probably relatively deep, maybe about halfway, a little more than halfway into the pot. And then we have some that are closer to the 1 foot plus mark, and I wanted to get this node in that one. Now the one I'm kind of gambling on is this guy because it was the node above the bottom one, And so this is a really long internode with no bottom node. So what I might do for this one is I might shave that off a little bit and put a little rooting hormone on the base of that, since it doesn't have a legitimate node. A lot of lenticles here, so there's plenty of rooting space, possible rooting opportunity. But just to give it a little bit of an assist, I think this will get rooting hormone. And then the rest of them, this is the top branch, a little thin, but again, nothing that probably wouldn't have a good shot at rooting. So we're going to go pretty much right up. We got 4 nodes here. I think it's going to be just fine. A little thin on the wood, but if he roots out, it's going to be it'll probably grow really strong. They're a fast growing shrub. And then these are more the standard size that I kind of expected out of, this is probably what I would target normally, about a ½ inch to 1 inch diameter. Yeah, I think 8 is going to be a good number. I think it's going to be easy to care for. Get some rooting hormone on that one, and yeah, we'll get these things potted up. So as I noted, this is just homemade compost, sifted wood chip. I think this is going to be fine for a potting media for these guys. The only thing I question is whether or not I actually have enough sifted, because I don't want to have to break up my flow and re-sift any, but I think I'm going to have enough. And 8 plants, 8 pots. Woody shrub propagation, folks, is just so much fun. Blackberries are one of my favorite things to do. I've only got one other elderberry experiment in the can right now, and that was when I was weeding around the base some of the Bermuda grass, trying to clear it out a bit. About 2-3 weeks ago, I had 5 suckers in a row out of the same actual plant, out of the Bob Gordon, and I decided to just kind of pull some of the organic matter around the base of them away and just yank them out. And now I'm waiting to see if they root out at that point. I don't see any reason they're not going to. They've already got a root structure in place, and gosh, I think about that in very little effort and very little time to take that one Bob Gordon elderberry from one plant to, if all 8 of these root, plus the 5 that I did, to 13 would be pretty, it's pretty exciting stuff. Now, whether or not I sell any of those plants on, or I just build orchards and nurseries around the property, I haven't decided yet. And I think we're gonna have just the right amount of potting media. Oh, actually more than enough. So when I water it in, I can top it off as well. Oh, I love when things like that work out. And this last one, I'm not going to fill up all the way, because what we're going to do with him, we're going to grab that that one cutting that had a no node at the bottom, just a long inner node. I painted him up with some Clonex rooting hormone. We're going to rest him gently so we don't rub that off, and then we're going to backfill him. Sounds like we got a tractor on the way. Even if he doesn't make it, for the moment, it's a pretty plant. All right, now we get the others stuck, water them in, top them off if we need to, and we got 8 in process. Then it's really just a matter of where I'm going to store them. I don't want to leave them out in direct sun after doing this, so I might put them under cover outdoors. I don't feel like putting them inside somewhere, like in one of the barns or anything. I'd like to give it some level of natural light, even if not direct sun. So I've got an undercover area that gets early morning sun and late evening sun, but the better part of the hottest part of the day is covered. So I think that might be a good area for them. And it's hose accessible too, so going out and watering them in on a regular basis is going to be easy. So I think that's where I'm going to put them. And just like that, folks, we might have 8 new elderberry shrubs. Appreciate you watching today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.